we're absolutely excited at the Charleston Mercury to be partnering, as they say, with Hidden Music Productions for video content on the Charleston Mercury's website. It's delightful to see the interviews with the old Charlestonians and the wonderful exhibit of what is Carolina Day. It's a real pop and hellaciously produced by you, I must say. Love the music, particularly the Carolina Day. Anyway, it's all wonderful, and it's the beginning of many exciting interviews.
Excuse me, did you just say wonderful?
We're on wonderful, wonderful King Street. After all, David, it's all about history. It's about finding the cultural nuggets that we know. We've heard about these institutions and individuals, these great legends, and we can put flesh on these bones of history.
Yeah.
Well, you're not running for mayor.
No, I will never run for mayor again. We're done.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Although if he runs again, what I hope to do with this is I hope to take the real pulse of Charleston, not the faux pulse. I mean, right now you go out there, you get this image of Charleston. It's all image. The one thing that has me very concerned, not just in Charleston, but really in the entire country and the culture itself, is the loss of institutional memory. You have to realize that you and I are old Charlestonians, and when I say old Charlestonians, that doesn't make us any better or any worse. It's just our family has been here since the very beginning. Now, I would argue that and $3.50 will get you a double mocha latte, all right? I mean, it's nice, but it's certainly nothing to hang your hat on anymore. By September, we want to have this basically as a television network on the internet. That's basically what it is. And it's never been done before.
David, it's very exciting because we can come at this without having an institution say this is the way it's always been done. That is the fun thing about Holy City Productions and the Charleston Mercury, and certainly you enjoyed that with Hidden Music Productions. It's the ability to be spontaneous. And big institutions are fine for what they are, but we find that being small and nimble suits us better because we're just that way.
So what are you, like the Navy SEALs of the Charleston media? Is that it?
Navy SEALs of Charleston media? I like that, Mr. Farrow. That's quite good.
Well, of course it is.
Yes.
When the political season comes around, like for instance, we've got a couple of elections this year, city council. And I think we will be able to give the voters a better idea of what's going on. Simply because, yes, it's a 10-minute soundbite, but it's not really a soundbite, is it?
No. Going back to the whole point about Charlestonians and people who grew up here, my whole attitude has been for a long time that the definition of a Charlestonian is a person who lives here and loves Charleston. It doesn't mean you've lived here for X number of years. Those who prosper here and thrive are those who move here because they love the culture. Those who come here thinking that they're going to do it the way they did it elsewhere, they're going to be miserable because Charleston is just different. Charleston it's a funny place. I mean, it's there are things that happen here, and the Carolina Day, and it's a perfect example.
The thing about Charleston society, old society, is it is based on family, not money, and it is the only one left in the country where it's hard to buy, you can't really buy your way into St. Cecilia. I mean, it's been done, but on a regular basis.
Well, someone tried to offered my grandfather $1 million to join the St. Cecilia Society back when he was president.
The Whitty?
And I guess that would have been the late 20s.
Who, Whitty?
No, this is Charles Whitty Waring Sr.
Mm-hmm.
And he turned him down, of course.
My grandfather, John Farrow, said he was a teacher at the high school at Charleston. And apparently, this was in 1910. I don't know who the person was, but he had married into a good family. He was a banker, and he got caught. He got caught with his hand in the till, and they let him out of South Carolina prison because he was the Grand Marshal or President or whatever of the St. Cecilia. And apparently, they brought him down, took him up there. And he was Grand Marshal for the evening, and then took him right back to Columbia. Well, you might want to look into that. This is my grandfather's story, but apparently my grandfather said he wasn't going to join any society where the president was a convicted felon. So.
Well, I think we definitely need to check into that story. There's also one of my favorites. My father liked to tell about the guy playing poker during the Depression at the Charleston Club, and apparently he put his deed in the pot and lost, and he excused himself to go to the gentleman's room. He hasn't been seen in Charleston since. I think it's wonderful to grab historical gems and preserve them forever and offer that as a public service so that people who are thinking about coming to Charleston or people who've moved here can see things for what they are. In the words of those who have experienced wonderful things and have great knowledge to impart to others, that to me is a real blessing for us to have. It's very exciting.
Here's the thing. It's real. The reason you have all these low information voters is because, and I've got a very good friend who's a lawyer, brilliant lawyer, who is one of the least information voters I've ever seen. Why? Because they watch the local news. Right? And how could you possibly form? I mean, no offense to any of those guys who do a bang-up job, but how could you possibly get your information if that's all the news you got? Because it's like, well, Kathy, there was a 6-lane pileup on the interstate today. That's right, Bill. And you know, 6 puppies were found to cause that crash. But luckily, the puppies are just fine. That's great, Jody. Bill, what about the weather? Well, we're under the dome of delight right now. So how could you possibly, what'd you get from that? I want to do comedy. I want to do skits. I want to do satire.
You mean we're going to laugh? Are we allowed to laugh?
For now. So far.
It's going to be fun.
I think it'll be a blast. Well, I'm David Farrow.
And I'm Charles Waring.
And you are watching This Mercury Moment on the Charleston Times.